Bluetooth earbuds for live streaming. Typically, that's a no, don't do that kind of discussion. But Apple just released their brand new Beats Studio Buds. I had to look down to make sure I got that name right because I keep screwing it up. And Rene Ritchie is here to talk us through how good they are. Are they a buy or a pass for live streamers? And the truth of the matter is there are times, even though I want you to stay wired almost 99% of the time, there are some times when Bluetooth might be the right answer for you. So we'll dive into all of that. Rene Ritchie in the house. Welcome.
Oh, it is so good to be here. I always love being here. Your community is just the best.
They are, and you are part of that community. Thank you,
Yes.
Matthew, for being new to the community. Thank you so much for being here, Matthew. Chime in, ask questions. All right, so Bluetooth earbuds, typically, a no-go. You don't, but you do actually wear Bluetooth earbuds for your live streams.
Only because you haven't corrected me yet. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for that hammer to drop.
I haven't been like, Rene, get wired earbuds on. But last
You
time
gave me a list and I'm working my way through it, but that's probably lower on the list.
Last time you were on, though, your AirPods kept falling out. So that's one of the reasons, right? So that's another thing that we're going to talk about with these Beats Studio Buds is, are they better than the AirPods or the AirPods Pro? How do those differ? Rene has some other options to show you as well in terms of Bluetooth earbuds. So if you don't know Rene is the Apple guy on the internet at youtube.com/Rene Ritchie. Hundreds of thousands of subscribers in just only a year. It's crazy, insane, awesome. And but he's been at this Apple thing for a very long time. How long at this point?
Not quite as long as you, maybe like 11 years.
11 years is a very long time. That's why you're the
Yes.
Apple guy. So now that
Internet years.
Right. So let's first talk about Bluetooth buds for streaming, right? We want you to stay wired when you're at a studio environment like this, sitting at a desk, you've got your camera there. I am wearing currently these Mi M6s. These are wired, so they're running down my back, right? And they're plugged in. Can't show you because they're right off camera. But those are the way I prefer you to go. But if you're doing fitness, if you're moving around, if you're dancing, if you're doing any number of things, Bluetooth might be the way to go. So I don't want you to think that you can't ever. And there are some people in this community, I have seen them say, I don't care what you say, Luria, I'm going to wear Bluetooth anyway. Somebody like this guy.
So, I mean, confession, when I do live internet, it's usually really long, like 3.5 hour shows with long ad breaks. And wearing the Bluetooth, I don't have to worry about taking the earpods off. I can run, I can get coffee, I can go anywhere I need, and I can still hear the ad read going on, so I know when I have to run back. It's not sort of a guesswork at that point. So for me, it's like convenience over quality. But I totally agree with you. I'm going to risk a pop culture reference. Hardwire Battlestar Galactica is absolutely the best way to go to eliminate any errors or Cylon invasions.
What's a Cylon?
I'm
just joking.
Poster, a skin job. Okay.
I'm joking. Okay, so
I think Jeff Bezos could be a Cylon. Maybe Zuckerberg for sure.
So let's talk about those Beats. So tell me, what the news is, what they are, like kind of give us the breakdown.
Sure. So, and I'll switch so that everybody can hopefully see them. These are the first, I would say, like really Beats-like wireless earphones that they've put out. Previously, they put out a bunch of models, but they were all just derivatives of the AirPods. And these, they've really sort of made their own thing. So if you look at them, and I'll hold them up as high as I can just so that people can see them. Whoops, pull back.
There we go.
They are tiny, and they don't have that sort of drop thing at the, back in the middle. They don't have that teardrop stem that comes out of them and hangs down your ear the way the AirPods Pro do. These just have a giant button on the top, and it's an actual clicky physical button, not like the capacitive button on the AirPods. So you can hear it and feel it clicking back and forth when you're using them. The biggest difference for me is that, one, they stay in my ears, and I have an unusual problem that my ears are mangled from years of judo and Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So most headphones don't stay in for more than a few seconds. AirPods Pro stay in on the left side pretty much all the time. The right side, as everyone saw last episode, fall out, quite frequently. These, I've been wearing them for days, both left and right, and they've just stayed in. And I don't know if the lack of the cord helps, but I think the lack of the stem helps a lot too. And you have the small, medium, and large sized options. I'll hold those up for a second so everyone can see them. But you have these, whoops, I'm coordinated. I swear I have rhythm. You have these different options for them. And you can also, there's a USB-C cable instead of Apple's Lightning cable. So if you're not all about that Apple ecosystem and you are, you have big gadget love, or, you have different stuff in your family, you have the option of using USB-C. And I think most attractive to a lot of people, not specifically for streaming, is that they have really, really good active noise canceling and really, really good transparency mode, easily on par with the AirPods. And I can explain why that's a little bit complicated if anyone's interested, but they cost $149. Yes. Yeah, okay, so active noise canceling is a complicated technology because first you have the environment around you and you have regular sounds like engines on an airplane, or if someone's doing construction, like a very static tuck, 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 anything that's predictable. And then you have unpredictable noises, which is like people yelling or talking, some musical patterns, and different sorts of ANC headphones attack and release that differently. So it's always a gamble. Like, do you suppress something and risk maybe taking some conversation or something important out of it? Or do you let everything through and risk letting some noise get through? And every brand calibrates that differently. And every algorithm treats different kinds of noise differently. And then we all have different ears and different hearing systems in our heads that react differently. Some people have better or worse hearing. Kids have much sharper hearing than adults. So it doesn't really matter what anybody else thinks is the best ANC. You can't rank them absolutely. It's going to depend on you, like relatively, what's the best for you. Okay.
So, yeah, that's always the truth, right? Is like with tech, it's always what's the best for you. Mics are different in everybody's, with everybody's voices. Earbuds are different in everybody's ears. So it is very kind of a personal preference thing. But at least we're going to get the breakdown of what the differences are, right, today. Before we get on, I have to point out that this was not a planned thing.
No, we did not call each other in the morning and arrange this.
People called it out in the chat room. And if you do want one, then you can go grab that on our store.
They're the most comfortable, like zero plugging, but they're the most comfortable zip hoodie I've ever owned.
They seriously are. I love this thing.
I bought 2 for me, 1 for Georgia. Everybody's super happy.
Nice. I love it. I need a picture of Georgia in it then. That's
okay,
awesome.
We'll do.
Okay, so back to the AirPods, to the Beats Studio Buds.
Buds. You know the name, we swear.
It is not a memorable name to me for some reason.
No. It's the studio. If they were just Beats Buds, it'd be fine. But putting the studio in there kind of interrupts the flow.
Okay, so you kind of described those, the technology with those buds. How do they sound? Like, would they be a good microphone for live streaming, if that's all you have, or would you rather somebody invest, for any video recording in general?
Yeah, so I mean, these are very computational based. It's similar to the AirPods. And whether that's the active noise canceling, which tries to compute anti-noise to cancel it out, or transparency mode, which tries to enhance your hearing so that this thing in your ear is not blocking out important sounds while you're running or maybe listening to someone else on a podcast. It does the same thing for microphones. It has beamforming microphones. The AirPods with their little stem, they actually direct it like a shotgun mic a little bit. They get a little bit closer to your mouth and they can better pick out, what is you talking as opposed to what is some random noise in the environment. These are just really, really tiny and don't stick out much further than your ears. So they try to beamform as best as they can, but then they do a ton of computer programming to try to separate your voice from the environment. So they end up sounding computational. And I have a hard time describing that, but it's all like when Cher sings and it sounds like a telephone in a way, because it removes a lot of stuff on the top and the bottom. It's sort of like ultra compressed. That's the sort of sound you get from these. So if you're doing something conversational, like if you're not the host, if you're a guest, and it would be the same thing as calling into a radio show, you can probably get away with it because people are forgiving if the host sounds great. But if you're the host, I mean, just absolutely invest in a microphone. These are good for you listening, but not good for you talking.
Got it. So you have so the AirPods Pro that you have right there, you're basically saying those would be better because they're a little closer to your mouth than these buds.
Yeah, they sound a little bit closer. Again,
Yeah.
it might depend on
Still.
personal opinion, but also these are $250 and these are $150.
There you go.
So how much is that worth? Is it worth $100 to you for a marginal improvement in
Right.
talkie-talkie?
And again, if you're going to be moving around, things like that, then if you're going to need to invest in like a lapel mic or something like that. So that's going to be around the same budget. So it's just an interesting conversation. There are always options on the market for you, but it sounds like this isn't necessarily the ideal solution, but as a guest, if you want to be able to hear and move around but use a different microphone, then that would be a good option. You also have some other things over there to show us, right?
Yeah, I mean, like you can I'm not a big fan of the old radio cans. Everyone used to wear those in podcasting and thought it's okay to wear them on video too, and I'm not going to be judgy about it. But these are, let me switch to, there we go. These are, if you want to really escalate, these are the $550 AirPods Max, and this is the black version. And these are probably the pinnacle of Bluetooth technology. Bluetooth is inherently lossy. You're always going to lose some of the quality because it's going through a very narrow radio pipeline. But this does a lot of work inside with those. Apple makes chips for the headphones the same way they make chips for the Mac or the iPhone, and they use that to try to rebuild the quality of the audio. So if you are somebody who favors, putting these, I'm gonna put this on for a second, putting these gigantic cans on your head, these will sound terrific if you're willing to pay $550 for them.
$550. Although I do like is that mesh on the top there?
Yeah, it's actually really they make this mesh canopy, and so that it
Really
distributes
nice.
the weight. And even though these are super heavy, these are aluminum, these are solid.
Oh, wow.
Like the weight is distributed over your head, so you can wear them for a long period of time. And because Apple's doing this fancy thing, and you can get this with any headphones you plug into an Apple device now, called spatial audio. They're either using Dolby Audio, Dolby Atmos, or they're rebuilding it themselves with their own spatial technology. But they're making a 3D soundstage all around you. So like vocals come from in front, cars will literally drive by. You'll hear people behind you. It's like sitting in the middle of a room where they're actually a crowd of people talking or singing around you.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so we have a couple questions. Or anything I missed before we go into questions? Anything else you want to cover when it comes to those buds?
No, just again, you're spending your money here because people often say like these don't sound like $150 or $250 headphones, and that's true from like an audio perspective. You are not paying for the audio quality; you're paying for the convenience and the computational technology. Like again, you've got a 10-core audio processor, CPU basically in here. You've got sensors for accelerometers, so it can tell which way you're paying for all the little gizmos in there, not the sound. So I would just adjust your expectations. Do you want convenience or do you want quality? Because unfortunately, technology's not giving us both yet.
You would hope. You would really hope.
One day. Beautiful dream.
Doc says $550 is for a good headphone is cheap. However, Sammy said for $550 you can get used M1 Mac Mini. So
yeah,
there you
this
go.
is a big battle between like
Right?
audiophiles and consumers. Like
Totally.
these aren't designed for audiophiles. These are designed to make your crappy MP3s and Netflix sound as good as possible. But
Yeah.
any audiophile would say you spent less than $15,000, you're not a real audiophile.
Right. Luki says that my main concern when streaming is that they can't be used with a Go XLR. No, Go XLR is XLR mic only, right? And so you're going to invest in a good mic, and you're going to want to wear something like the Mi M6s that I'm wearing right now instead, or cans, whichever version of the headphone you prefer, and that's going to be your alternate route. Like for Bluetooth, if you're going to be using Bluetooth, you're most likely not going to be sitting here at your desk doing the thing. You're going to be moving around. You're going to be doing fitness or yoga or what else? anything that
running
you
to the
need
door to
move
answer
around.
FedEx.
So, there's all kinds of options for Bluetooth that make sense for you, but we're giving you the information, and you're going to choose what you want to do. Griffo Productions says, I use AirPods during my stream. I feel like they work the best. There you go. If they're working, the danger here with Bluetooth is that it can disconnect, right? So if you're doing a vital interview, if you're doing a super important stream, any stream really is super important, but if you're doing that and the Bluetooth disconnects, then you're kind of screwed, right? So you need to have some kind of wired headphone sitting there ready to pop on, right? So I have these headphones that I always have ready to go if I need, and I use them for very specific situations as well, but not on camera. But those are the things that you need to think about. And if they die, if the battery dies, let's say you forget to charge them. I've not been guilty of that ever in my entire life.
Every darn day.
So let's talk about the Bluetooth connection of the different options that you have there. What do you think, are you seeing any difference between how solid the connections are?
Yeah, there's two major differences. And one, Apple has this feature that is either terrible or wonderful, depending on how you feel about it. And that is, once you pair them with any of your Apple devices, they automatically pair with every device. But they are so promiscuous that if you're using them to live stream on your Mac and then you pick up your iPhone to check something or to read a note, it'll just jump over to your iPhone, and then suddenly you got to frantically try to bring it back. With the Beats, they have decided to not be as Apple friendly because they also want to be completely compatible with Android. So you can instantly pair these with iOS or Android, but you lose that automatic device hopping that you have with the straight AirPods. And that could be a bug or a feature depending on how aggravated you've been with AirPods lately.
That's very true. Sometimes I have both my phone and my computer open and I want to swap back and forth. And I have to make that call sometimes, right? Because I typically am connecting my AirPods to my phone, but there are times when I want to connect it to my computer. And so it can be very frustrating to get it to disconnect and then connect. So I can see that being a feature, but then do I really want to connect each and every time? That sounds annoying too. So
yes. Yeah, and it's trolling you. It's going to do the opposite of what you want no matter what you do.
100%. What say you? Chime in the comments. Which way would you prefer? Easy hopping. So say hopping or no hopping in the comments.
Yeah. Human or algorithm?
Wait,
Human or algorithm?
Poll. I forgot. We have a poll now.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we have live polls, which is a new feature. So we will be using and abusing that poll for sure in our live streams. But I forgot to call it out at the beginning. So we have a poll at the top of the comments right now that says, are the Beats Studio headphones worth the buy? 50% right now is that yes, 50% and no. So if you have not chimed in on the poll, go ahead and chime in now. I want to see by the end of this where it lies. So that's an interesting 50-50.
Yeah, I just think, if you put a blaster to my head and said, you've got to pick one right now. I love some of the extra features. This gets a bunch of extra features because it has that processor in it. Things like head tracking, so the audio will move with you. And Apple's added new features so that they're doing the same they're doing noise cancellation for the people on the other end of the call, or noise widening. And the list of things goes on and on. But these stay in my ears and are $100 cheaper. So blaster to my head, I'm going with the Beats Studio Pros right now.
Fair enough. So Paul says the AirPod jump drives me nuts. Kevin likes the hop. Paul is a no hop. That has nothing to do with hopping that I know of, Doc. No Flargar.
Is it like cap, no cap? It's hop, no hop. Is that what the kids are saying now, the fellow kids?
Right. Rogers just wants to be human. Yes, it is neck and neck, though. I had seen it hop up to no at 51%. So keep hopping in the poll. Keep participating in the poll.
I keep refreshing. This is dramatic.
I know, it is. The buds come in different colors too. That's important to note.
Yeah. Yeah, black, what they're calling Beats Red, I guess, which is just their flavor of red, and white, where the AirPods, you get them in any color you want as long as it's white. Classic Apple earbuds fashion.
Oh, 51% yes at the moment. Guys, keep it coming. If the blaster being helped by Stormtrooper, I'm going to do what I want because they're going to miss anyway.
That's true. Mine's being held by Han Solo, so I don't have the luck. And he shot first, Doc. Thank you. So painful.
Go away with your green stuff, people.
It's not easy being green.
It is not easy being green. You were right about that. All right, so let's talk about some questions. You ready to answer some questions?
Absolutely.
All right, Sammy
Bring it on.
Says, would the Beats Studio be good for live streaming? Oh, well, we answered that. If so, wouldn't it have a delay if you have music or guests? Let's talk about delay possibilities.
Yeah, so it is the latest version of Bluetooth, and Bluetooth traditionally is not good at latency or moving through ugly bags of mostly water, which unfortunately for us is what humans are composed of. So they've done a lot of improvements in terms of being able to work around us just getting in the way of ourselves, but also the lower latency. And it's important not just for streaming, but for gaming, I guess especially streaming gaming, but also accessibility, people who need them because they're lower no vision. So they are better than they've ever been before, but nothing will ever beat like a hardwire connection like the Matrix. I snuck that in there too. I had to try.
I knew that was a pop culture reference at least. I'm just joking. Ron says, is basically, so do you recommend, like, they're great for earphones for listening essentially, but maybe a lapel mic like a Rode Wireless Go would be a good combo.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see a lot of YouTubers, even like people who don't live stream, wear those now, and they put their logo sticker on them and wear them like it's become almost like a fashion item on the middle of their sternum.
Yeah. Sammy also says, I use studio cans that are wired. Is there a way to make the headphones wireless if I need to have the gear show off or getting some bacon? Oh, so like, can you make wired headphones wireless? Not that I know of.
No, you can do the reverse. They have
right.
They have devices that you can plug in, like little Bluetooth dongles that you plug into the 3.5 millimeter jack, and it turns your wireless headphones into wired headphones for airplanes and things like that. I'm sure somebody probably has a wireless rig for your phone. You'd plug the 3.5 into that, and that would broadcast to a receiver. But it sounds like a lot of work just to get some bacon. I mean, prepare your bacon before the stream. That's the pro move.
Oh, you can cut the wire, but it's not going to work.
No. Especially like even two tin cans, if you cut the string, they stop being functional.
Oh, it sucks, doesn't it? Technology,
yes,
come
physics
on.
Physics is the worst. Physics is a jerk.
Okay, so Daniel's like, you can get a Bluetooth 5.0 adapter, plug your headphones into them. I think that's what you were saying.
Yeah, but still make your bacon first.
Just make your bacon first. How well is the ANC with Beats Studio Buds?
It's really good. It's on par with the AirPods Pro, which is some of the best. I know some people who are really serious about audio who like them slightly better, and other people who like them slightly worse, just again because active noise cancellation is relative to a lot of factors. But if you are, it's top of the line. Like it's as good as any active noise cancellation you can get in a completely, truly wireless bud.
And Sammy is saying, where can you buy the Beats Studio Buds? Well, Sammy, why, we have a link in the description where you can go buy those right now.
In the description, where you get the hoodie and a lot of
exactly.
other cool stuff.
Get the hoodie, you get the buds, you get anything and everything.
Yep.
You get these overlays that you can put on your videos or streams, or become vegan
Those dope
and
new
have
subscribe
wireless.
buttons. Yeah.
No, bacon wrapped in bacon. Do not wrap anything with bacon, because then it becomes soft and it's no good. Bacon wrapped anything. Just cook the bacon and eat the bacon.
Waste a good bacon. Yeah, exactly.
Do you like soft, or like, does it have to be crispy?
I don't like soft bacon. I like crispy bacon.
Okay. Phew. We can still be friends.
Yeah.
I know, it's true. Like
when you accidentally drop it and it shatters on the floor. I mean, like there's ranges of crispy, but I'm down on the crispy side.
I know we're totally off topic here, but one server at a restaurant told me once, like, to ask for it, because I was like, I can't describe to you how crispy I like the bacon, because nobody ever crisps it enough. I'll say crispy bacon, but then like it comes out like half crispy, and so I'm like, extra crispy. And then somebody was like, snappable bacon. I was like, yes.
Yes.
So I've used
It's like,
that
how do you
ever
like your
since.
potato chips? Crispy or soggy? I mean, I don't understand the question. There's something in my brain is not wired right. I don't understand. Why is it a question?
Exactly.
Why are you baconing wrong?
Why are you baconing wrong? Don't bacon wrong. Bacon wrapped gator is good. Oh my. Bacon, no, Pocket Cali not available.
Everything tastes like chicken, so that just tastes like bacon wrapped chicken. Again, eat the bacon.
Doc, do it right. Come on now.
Yes.
It should crumble when you pick it up. Yes. That's perfect bacon. Doc was on and we were talking donuts. Now you're on and we're talking bacon. I don't know.
Yeah, I love that show. Doc's the best. Huge fan of Doc.
All right. What other questions do you guys have about Bluetooth earbuds or, you know what, anything at this point? You can feel free. Oh, wait. Oh, let's check in on the poll. Poll time.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm guessing this is Callie. Said, which is the best bacon? We have a new poll. I don't know what the results of the old poll were. Can somebody fill me in on that? Did we have a...
Why is there more than one option in this poll?
Crispy,
I don't get it. I'm so
all
confused.
bacon, soft.
What is soft? I don't know. I'm so confused, Callie.
It really doesn't. Oh no, the poll results don't add up. Apparently. Whoops. Oh no.
Matt,
wait, hold on.
Did you remember to carry the 1 and divide by 0? That's what I usually do.
Sorry.
We don't do live math. I was promised no live math.
Thank you so much, Jason, for the super chat. I'd like to order some bacon of crispy nature, please. Bacon coming right up. Okay.
Crispy bacon.
So crispy is winning at 53%. I love my community. I knew I did.
Yes.
All bacon. I know Callie is in that. Wow. 42% with all bacon. The results of the Beats Studio headphones worth the buy. It was yes 51% and no 47%.
Wow. Okay. Barely squeaked through that victory.
That really doesn't math up.
No. I don't know. Math is hard. Math is theoretical. I'm not equipped for this.
That's funny.
But I'm worried that you're going to yote 5% of your community right now for their bacon answers.
I'm thinking about it. If I knew exactly which ones they were. Are the Beats Studio headphones worth the... Oh, I thought you were asking a question. No, Miles was just putting it right there for us to see. Thank you, Miles. Okay. Let's see. Ugh. I'm so behind. So far behind. Okay, so controversial take. Crispy or soft, it's all murder. That's a very good point.
I don't think that's controversial. Just got to find a pig that had it coming.
Oh, don't say
I'm just
that.
kidding.
No,
I'm
pig has
just
it
kidding.
coming.
Flowers have faces too.
Yes, I did, Paul. Thank you. You do no live math either. I don't do live math. You don't do live math. No live math.
No. Well, we do as long as you don't care if the answer is correct or not. That's fine.
That's a good point. Where are the missing 2%? I don't know, Marcus. We'll pass it along. Hopefully they can fix that. Oh, Wilbur didn't have it coming. Oh. Okay,
No.
let's move on
But
off
that
of
pig from Green
pigs.
Acres.
Thanks for saying that. Okay, so tell me, so Rene, you have been working really, really hard on your channel. So one of the things that, Rene and I are in a group of creators, and that we really all support each other and help each other out and really help each other grow and brainstorm stuff, right? And so I've gotten to see inside of Rene's head through this process. Looking
it's
in
hollow. She verified it's hollow.
And one of the things that I have learned from you is that you kind of take a monthly approach of a new goal with your YouTube channel. And so every month you're trying something strategically new to experiment and discover. So walk us through that process and kind of what you're working on right now and what you've learned through your experiments in the past.
Oh yeah, for sure. So one of the things I found is when you just look at analytics or you just watch someone talking about how to succeed how to blow up in YouTube 2021, it's so much information, and you can get this paralysis through analysis where there's all these numbers and all these hot tips and things, and you end up not doing anything because you don't know what to do. So I try to just reduce it down to the basics. can I get people to stop and see my thumbnail? Will the title intrigue them enough for them to click on it? Will they watch for a long period of time, be happy with that experience enough that they're going to want to watch another video? And then I pick one aspect of that to work on. So last month I was working on editing for retention, and that just means I'm not going to say kill your darlings because I don't want to get yelled at by Luria's chat room. I'll say sorry, it's not kill your baby. I'm going to say kill your darlings. That's fine, right? That's the okay one.
Kill your darlings is the way you do it. I say kill your babies
Yes.
because that's the way I learned in the editing space, but that's not very nice.
Yes. Yeah. No, we learned that in software too, but then humans get mad at us, so we have to adjust
Totally.
it. So then I would just go through and I would take out anything that I thought would lead to people leaving the video. So introductions, me explaining things, like me telling instead of showing, bridge words like saying, and the next thing we're going to do, or the last thing, exit words, all these kinds of things. And I just learned to edit as tightly as possible. But I found like I was going a little overboard. I was losing some of the humanity in my machine-driven desire to get like that retention percentage up. And so this month, after talking a lot with you, I decided to focus more on just communicating with my audience instead of thinking about what I want to do with the video. Listen more, see what they're telling me, what they're interested in, and then just really, try to talk to them and try to connect with them. And it's a harder process because I can't just look at it like clinically and say, cut here, cut here, cut here. I have to feel my way through the darkness quite a lot and hit a few walls, bounce off them, get back up, hit the wall again, bounce off, or the rakes, whichever one. But I'm enjoying it more than anything I've ever tried before.
That's awesome. Christian, you really took it to the next level there. I'm not even saying that out loud.
No.
So one of the things that you've been, experimenting with is being human, right? And adding that humanity into the retention discussion. What has been one of the hardest things about that for you? Like, because you've been getting a little bit more vulnerable with your audience lately. I've been pestering.
Yeah, I guess I second guess myself a lot, and you've been really, really supportive. You'll say like, you can leave a couple of ums in. No one's going to be coming for your throat. And I'm like, oh, okay. But it does sound more real. It does sound more relatable. Or just getting off a teleprompter and not worrying so much if I get a spec wrong and I can just do another take, or I can have like a little list of specs in the corner. And things before that I would cut out for retention, like asides, even though they were humorous and probably let me connect more, I would just jettison those without even thinking about it. Now I'm leaving, in my latest video, I have a whole thing about why this person must hate their cat so much. And I would normally have totally gotten rid of that, but I left it in. And I don't know how people are going to react, and that's scary. Like before I could if you take something out, they can't react to it. It's just gone. Yeah. But if you leave something in, now all of a sudden you can see the reaction to it.
And, you have to be okay with it being not as good as you had hoped sometimes. Joe says...
And also letting go of the...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, letting go of the algorithm. Like, we've had this conversation too. Like, I had a bunch of 1 out of 10 videos in a row, and then the ones I'm doing now aren't that. But I'm getting like the most people sharing them on social. I'm getting the best comments I've ever gotten, and they're not performing. I mean, they're performing fine. They're not performing at the highest level possible, but the connection is so much better, and I think that's way more worth it. Yeah,
I find that when you try something new like that, it takes a while for maybe your audience to kind of, or for it to really like settle and have that growth experience. But I think it happens. It's just like any change is a little different, right? We're doing the same with our new format for our videos, and actually in our live streams, we're doing much of the same. It's different because of the amount of production value that goes into the recorded videos, but it's been incredibly successful. Like, people are loving that content, and so it's been just amazing to see. But at the same time, sometimes when you make changes, you see a fast reaction, and sometimes you see a slow reaction, and so either way is fine. You just got to keep with it if you like it, right?
No,
if
absolutely.
You like where it's going.
And your new videos are so good. Your team is just crushing it so hard. I told this before, but they make me want to be a better YouTuber. Oh. I'm looking at them and going, I need to be just anywhere nearly as delightful and fun. And you have all these little asides and bits in them. And it's just it's such an enjoyable, satisfying. YouTube cares about satisfaction. So I keep thinking about that. But it's just I would immediately watch 3 more of those videos. I would just binge on that style of video. It's so good.
thank you. That means the world to me, and it's super helpful to have a group of people who really know what they're doing, and you can like dive in and brainstorm together, and like having a network of people who can help, expand your horizons and can help kind of push your limits is incredibly helpful. So if you don't have that, look to create that within your world. Joe says Rene's sponsor segues are getting better. Also got better.
Ah,
That's
thank you.
awesome. Yes, the LSP team is great. Sorry.
They're fantastic. I was gonna say, I stopped thinking about an algorithm. Like, it's one of the things that, we talk about a lot. It's like an audience, not an algorithm. But even then, like, I think about it like a little tin man chopping wood. And when you change the kind of wood you're giving him, he's gonna bounce off the first few chords that he hits.
Yeah.
But then he'll get a new rhythm. That puppy will find new people for videos.
That's funny. Yes. Okay, we have questions. I'm like seeing all the questions here. So the more views you get, the more people get offended. Nothing you can really do about it, right? And the last video, I don't know if they're talking to us or you, Marcus, but probably both.
We'll share.
Okay, if you take everything out that might offend, you're also taking everything out that might please. So well said, Dave. So well said.
Yeah, and people will react negatively faster than they'll react positively. It's just the internet is a giant complaint engine. So there will be people who just, if you don't like something, you're much quicker to write it than if you do like something because you're so busy enjoying it. Yeah. So you have to filter in that. You have to adjust for that feedback loop.
Absolutely. Elliot, yes, we did talk about the beats already, but I know that Elliot had a question about the beats, and then we'll get back onto the questions about this. We just kind of moved on to a different topic because we had hashed through that. So Rene, I guess you came late, which I guess means you brought cookies for everybody.
Cookies.
I can't see my count of how many people are here, but anybody, like the number of people who are here, you're supposed to bring cookies for that number of people. Just so you know, Elliot. But yeah, he wanted to know, what's the latency on the buds?
It's hard to measure. They're pretty fast, but I'm using them just for conversation. I think if you're using them for gaming, I think for live streaming they're fine too. I'm using them right now. Well, I'm using the AirPods Pro. It's the same technology right now. For if you really have important accessibility needs, I think they'll also be fine, but you're probably going to want to test them. And they have really good return policies. So if you have any doubt whatsoever, try them. And if they're not working for you, then just take them back.
Perfect. Okay, so questions about your YouTube experiments. Zane asked, you post around 5 to 7 videos weekly and are very active in many communities. Where do you get that much energy?
So I've actually slowed down. That was part of the conversation we had. I want to give the videos a little bit more time to breathe now. I don't want to make people choose between which of my videos they're going to watch, if they're so inclined to watch more than one. I want to let them have a little bit of space. So I do like 3 to 4 videos now. But we were in lockdown in Canada. We had a curfew, for a year. And this making videos and being in communities like this, I made a very conscious choice to be in, positive, optimistic, tech enthusiastic communities that would make me feel better about everything that was going on. And it's not so much that I had to find the time. It's like this was my saving grace for the last year.
Yeah. And I think that, the daily or like almost daily for you for a year really actually helped your YouTube channel growth, because doing daily does help, but also you found that when you pulled back, you were able to create better content, and that you were able to, actually see more growth because they were able to breathe and kind of perform a little bit in between each, right?
Yeah. I wanted, it was a brand new channel. I had to start over. So I wanted to thank you. I wanted to feed YouTube as many videos as possible so they could get the best sense of my audience as possible, and just build up a back catalog of content, because I lost the one I had previously. But now also, I give myself time between videos so I can be in communities and I can have conversations, and I love working with other YouTubers and just having that time to digest everything. And now I have way more of that, which is great.
Love it. French Press says, Rene, how has your editing skill and efficiency improved over the last 12 months? That's a great question.
I've gotten way, way, way better at editing, and that's mostly due to people like CeeLo, who are just beyond experts at doing it and sharing a lot of tips on how to edit. They're mostly retention-based editing though, but I understand it better. I got better with keyboard shortcuts. Now that I'm doing more what I would call live to tape stuff, I'm just editing less, so it's way faster for me to do it. And I know Luria's going to keep telling me to get an editor, and I probably will eventually, but I really enjoy it, and there's not much else to do right now. So as the world starts opening up again, I'm going to start looking at that.
Yeah, I've been bugging him to get an editor because he can spend his time doing so many more things to help his growth, right?
Yeah.
But that's, it is what it is. He will take my advice when he's ready. I'm just joking.
But when I'm told to.
or never. So Rene's beard always flickers. I don't know what it is. I think it's because you get this shine coming from some display you have there somewhere.
It's the ATEM Mini. Like when I film the ATEM Mini, you can see the lights on the ATEM Mini flicker, and I'm pretty sure that's what's being caught.
Okay, yeah.
The light from the ATEM Mini.
It's magical.
Yes, absolutely. Work hard for this flicker.
Callie says, I realized Rene's set reminds me of Portal a little bit.
Ooh. I based it on the Dark Knight poster from the Batman movies, just because the easiest color grade to learn is teal and orange. And there's way more sophisticated ones that I'm just not ready for yet. So I've been color grading based on teal and orange, and having a background that's teal and orange makes it way easier. It's my little cheat sheet.
Nice. Speaking of recording videos and editing, John wanted to know, when you record, do you record audio separate?
I used to, and it was just an extra step in my workflow. And I decided, just because I am doing everything by myself, especially during lockdown, I needed to simplify. So I have a Cine camera now, and that has XLR, full-sized XLR in. So I have an MKH416 right here, and that goes through XLR right into the camera, and it gives me one file. Eventually, we'll all have Float 32, and it won't even matter anymore, but this gives me one file to work with.
Rene is a Cylon. That's why his beard filters.
Yes.
We learned that earlier, too.
Cylon, lucky number 13.
They're saying it's a pixel level issue. I've never seen it with any other beard, so that's interesting. We'll work on that.
Maybe my beard is virtual. Maybe I render it in post-production.
Maybe.
If I turn too fast, the polygons won't catch up.
Kat says, I recorded my last 2 lives inspired by LSP. Yes. Trim start and end to leave a shorter replay, but noticed people specifically liked the more casual Q&A. Thoughts on leaving the Q&A? You get it. Well, I'll let Rene answer that. And then
my answer is always test. Do 5 where you leave it, 5 where you don't. Look at the results, look at your retention, and not just which has a higher or lower retention, because it could be giving satisfaction well beyond the retention. Like the people who, there might be less people might be watching for less time, but enjoying the part, they do watch more. So you've got to be really careful and try it and then see how it works.
Yeah, and I'd say in addition to that, you may be hearing from your live audience, right? And the question is it the live audience or is it a new audience finding you prefers that? So Daryl kept telling me, stop thinking about live as live.
Yes.
It's harping on that. And I had a really tough time kind of letting go because I love my live audience. I love you and I love hanging out with you. And that's where I see the most results because that's where the most comments come from. So, prioritizing that is necessary because we're live streaming pros, but also it's the bigger voice to me, right? And so, but I had to kind of start thinking okay, well, that is the core of what we want them to end up doing is become a live audience. But how do we get them in the door, right? And so when you kind of start thinking through that process, I always thought about that, but the prioritization in the direction of the content kind of shifted a little bit in my brain. I don't think I'm saying that about you guys. You are still my priority. But you know what I mean, right, Rene? You just kind of have to think about the entry point as well. And so you need to understand what people are asking for and where you slot that in. Does that Makes
And
sense.
I all caps love what you're doing right now because you're removing it from the main, like the specific videos that you're doing, making that a member bonus, which is great for the community building.
Yeah.
But then keeping it in the generic Q&A, so you can use the other one and say, if you have questions, come over to this Q&A, and they know you do it,
Yeah.
but they have to go to the next video to get it, and that gives them, they get more embedded or more engaged with your community.
And speaking of which, we do, I don't think we talk about that enough. We do chop off the Q&As, and those are member-only content pieces. And we decided that every last Friday of every month, we're going to have a big old member stream. Not just a member stream, but a really fun one. So next week, is that the last Friday of the month? I think it's next week. Callie and I are pitting against, each other against OBS and Ecamm. She'll be like setting up scenes in OBS. I'll be setting them up in Ecamm, and we'll be kind of going at it in a fun competition. So that'll be super fun too. Kevin said, I all caps love the phrase. I all caps love that. That's one of my favorite Rene phrases.
Well, you get so used to writing on a computer that you want to say that like in real life, and that was the only way I could figure out how to do it.
I love it. Sammy,
Because it's really just yelling, not appropriate.
Exactly, right? Sammy says, when will you be starting to stream?
It's on my list. Like I was very specific when I started my new channel. I didn't want to do everything all at once badly. So I started by doing just the videos. And then 6 months later, I waited to do the podcast. And it was my goal to 6 months after that, add some live component because I missed doing the iMore show, which was live every week. And I wanted to redo that. But I got sort of these other monthly projects that I wanted to fix before I added something else to the loop. So it is still my intention to do it. I just need to figure out when and where it makes sense, especially now as I'm being like more authentic in the videos. I think it'll be a better blend. It'll be less of a schism for people watching.
All caps are Thanos snap. I think we're about to start a new poll of who's going to win next Friday on the member-only stream. But
this poll looks highly sus.
The results of did you do it?
Did you see this poll?
No.
Check this poll. This is totally sus. This is a 9,000 IQ 5D chess move, but it is totally sus.
The poll says, who will win the next Friday in the OBS and Ecamm challenge? Callie or Callie? Where's Luria? What just happened? So sus.
Oh, the gauntlet.
Very sus.
She took off her Bugs Bunny mitt, put a brick in it, and then challenged you to a duel.
She did. But the results of the bacon poll are 50% crispy, all bacon 39%. Guys, come on. And soft 10%. 50, 60, 70, 80, 99. So 99%.
Oh, you're trying to math.
I'm trying
Be
to
careful.
do math. I think I got that right. I don't know.
Luria did the math.
All right, we had another question come in from Jim. Apologies if it's already mentioned. Don't ever apologize. You're fine. Rene, love your content, Jim says. How was the transition from working for others to indie content creator? I love it for me. Challenges, yes. Worthwhile, absolutely. Thoughts?
Yeah, I do not miss. I used to have like 5, 6, 7 meetings a day and a staff of like 60 people. And the minute like people have somebody they can bring problems to, they forget how to solve problems on their own and just bring you all the problems. So I don't miss like any of that. There are some things that were nice about having a big organization. Like you never had to worry about travel. All of that was just handled for you. There was a lot of logistical support. I haven't had to deal with that yet, but I consider it a huge blessing, like a huge privilege, a huge advantage that I can do this. And I'm really, really happy being indie. It's very fulfilling.
I love that. And you said that once people like have somebody to go to, I worked really hard over the last year to, make sure that I wasn't the only one making decisions in my team, right? Because I was a bottleneck. And so when you start to build out your own team, that was a big challenge for me because I thought I was giving up the power, but like there were always like things that we had to kind of work through. And so we methodically and kind of really strategically worked through that stuff. And I love not being the only decision maker, right? It was nice to not have to be like, okay, like everybody comes to me for the answer. Like, nope, releasing.
Yes.
You go make decisions without me.
Offline, go. But now you
Certain
have
ones,
Callie putting
right?
herself
Not all
twice
of
in a
them.
poll. So I mean,
That's true. I think now she's
Didn't
just
think that
taking
one through.
over. I think she took it down. I'm not sure which Callie won.
it's gonna come back with fish simulators. I know it. It's just a matter of time.
I was gonna say something else, but oh, I was gonna put up the super chat. Hold on, I missed it. Marcus came in with the $20 super chat. Callie starting very strong into the battle. And Dole Whip Dad, it's been a while since I saw you. Hi, welcome. I hope I just haven't made. Now Callie makes all the decisions. No, she doesn't get to make all the decisions, that's for sure.
The polls and the macaroni and cheese. That's about it.
Right, definitely with the macaroni and cheese. Wait, hey. All right, so I'm gonna wrap this baby up. I know I'm not supposed to say that, but we're gonna dance this baby
Nobody's
out.
listening.
I do have a call at 11, so I can't go late. And Rene, everybody go follow Rene at youtube.com/Rene Ritchie. Tell us what your next video is all about.
I just put up a video today where I took issue. I allowed myself to retort on the Washington Post's M1 iMac review, which I found, not good. So I went over it point by point.
Okay, then.
Reaction videos. It's the fuel that makes YouTube go.
Yeah, so we have been talking about reaction videos for months. You have been
love those.
pestering me to do reaction videos, and we need to like work it into our content calendar. But it's something that I really want to do, that I really want to get right, though. It's like one of those things that I really want to get right instead of just do, but we'll see.
I would pay such good money to see you do one of like those tech CEO things where it's like, oh, Jeff Bezos, you're not really on mute. Tim Cook, why did you dress like the wall? We all know what you're doing. Like, just call them out on everything. It would be so over the top amazing.
I watched one stream that I was dying to. I was actually texting you, like,
Yes.
I was doing a reaction video like to you in text. I was
Yes.
like, what are
It was
they
amazing.
doing?
It was amazing. And it was perfect. Just so on point. I love that. We gotta make that happen.
Yeah, we will. Okay, we'll make that happen. So everybody subscribe, turn on those bell notifications on Rene's channel and ours, but make sure you're following him, commenting, and watching as he gets a little bit more vulnerable with his audience and tests content. So watch his journey. It's exciting to watch. There you go. You can do reaction videos reacting to reaction videos. Very meta. There you go.
Very YouTube.
Any final words, Rene?
No, just thank you so much I love being here. Again, it's such a great community, and everyone, please take a moment to just utterly obliterate that like and subscribe button on Live Studios. Probably one of the best decisions you ever
Live
make.
who? What?
Live Streaming Pro. Beat Studio Buds, Live Streaming Pros.
Wow. I thought we were friends.
I'm yoded. That's so I just like
You're
boom,
yoded.
right off the street.
But
Right
first
off
you
the
have to
street.
dance. And
I
we're
was
gonna-
being so careful to get the name of these stupid buds right that it just infected my entire brain system.
Oh, funny. Okay, we are wrapping this baby in bacon, and I'm looking for my credits. Bye.
I ate the bacon. Sorry. I ate all the bacon. It's gone.